What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Addiction Network. We are super excited. We are less than 3 days away from the kickoff of the XFL season. Wanted to give you guys a quick update on all of the latest news that has been dropping around the XFL in this video. But hey, if you guys are looking for XFL content to be posted throughout the season, we're going to be posting fantasy updates, highlights, recaps, rankings, starts, sits, everything that you need from an XFL perspective, from following it from a fan, but also from a fantasy perspective. That's our main focus, our bread and butter. So if you guys are interested in that, click that like and subscribe button for content to be posted throughout the season. But let's get into today's news. Alright guys, so we had been waiting for the final shoe to drop and tell us who is the starter in Houston. We had gotten some buzz about a week ago that it was looking like Phillip Walker had won the job, and today it was confirmed. Phillip Walker will be the starting quarterback for the Houston Roughnecks this season, unless something happens where either he gets injured or he just doesn't do well. Connor Cook is still there, so a name you'll have to watch out for, but Phillip Walker is getting the starting role, and I do think this is a really good fit. Phillip Walker is a very competent quarterback, but he also offers more in the running game than Connor Cook gives for that team, and considering how much this team is going to pass and how much defenses are going to have to respect their receivers, especially with Sammy Coates and Khalil Lewis, they're being tremendous athletes. I think that it's going to be very hard for them to also worry about Phillip Walker killing them with his legs. So this should be a very high octane offense, a very high passing volume offense. So if you have Phillip Walker on your fantasy teams, you should be delighted by this news. And if he's on the waiver wire, oh my gosh, make sure he's on your team right now. He could easily be a top tier quarterback now that we have complete clarity on who the starter is. From a daily perspective, I know that DraftKings had released their salary expecting Connor Cook to be the starter. So this is a really good week for you to, I mean, honestly, most people are probably going to end up playing Phillip Walker in the standard lineup setting over at DraftKings just because of how cheap he is and just based on his potential. Pretty much, in DraftKings lineups, the typical best strategy is either to go all the way up or all the way down, and unless Josh Johnson doesn't play, which he is questionable right now, he would be the only other guy that you'd be looking at by going all the way up because he's the highest priced guy on DraftKings. But Phillip Walker is a tremendous value there and is a tremendous grab for your fantasy season-long league, especially if no one drafted him, but he probably got drafted in most leagues out there. Now, we also got some other news for you guys. The XFL official app was released this week. There wasn't any fantasy update on the app, so the app is pretty cool. It basically lets you buy tickets. You can view the rosters on the app. You can basically, it's a version of their website just condensed into phone form, so you can follow when the games start and look at all the latest news that they post on the XFL. So that's a useful little app. It's free, pretty easy to download. I'd recommend grabbing it real quick if you have an iPhone or a Android device, and that'll help keep you up to date on some of the other news that's coming out. But overall, we did finally hear what Oliver Luck was touting as the big fantasy announcement, but it's a little bit of a letdown if you guys were hoping for season long. So the announcement is that the XFL and DraftKings are actually partnering with one another, so that way the DraftKings and XFL, that DraftKings will be the official fantasy partner for daily fantasy sports with the XFL. Now, I do think this is still really good news overall for the league. I have said pretty much since day one, if the XFL wants to succeed in today's modern era, they need to embrace sports gambling and the fantasy community, because that's honestly the only thing that is going to give them the type of attention and draw that they need in order to grow in the way that they want. So I'm excited for the XFL standpoint to be able to have this partnership. DraftKings is a huge name in the daily gaming community, and I do think that playing the XFL on DraftKings is going to be a fun reprieve between the NFL off season and downtime there. So it's definitely going to give us something to look at. But overall, a little bit disappointed just because I'm very much so a season-long guy. I love playing season-long leagues, and the fact that the XFL didn't release a season-long platform, I think, is a little bit of a misstep on their part. But as I've said in other videos, we do have altfantasysports.com. Brian over there has done a tremendous job of creating a wonderful site, and even though it's a little bit bare bones because it's not a huge company that's making this app, guys. There's not tons of money being thrown into it. It's a guy that just loves fantasy football and loves this community and really wanted to help out. So if you're still looking for a league, they have a Discord server over there. I have a Facebook group in my description as well. You guys can join that. They're still having leagues every single night, so you still have some time to get going into a fantasy league on altfantasysports.com. And then the last bit of news that we have to talk about today, won't go into it too much because we'll do a whole video breaking down the official depth charts here in the next couple of days. But we did get the Wildcats and the Tampa Bay Vipers depth chart release, so look out for some updated news videos on that within the next day or so. We'll be posting game previews and depth chart reviews to give you guys as much insight into everything that's going to be happening this weekend. But other than that, put that countdown on your phone. Like I said, we are less than 3 days away now from the official start to the league. I'm pumped. I hope you guys are pumped, but thank you for watching. We'll continue to keep you updated with everything happening for this first week and then throughout the entire season. So hit that like and subscribe button if you guys are looking for season-long rankings, trade advice, waiver wire advice, anything that you need to be able to manage your season-long league at Alt Fantasy Sports. Click that link in the description for my XFL season companion, or go to fantasyaddictionnetwork.com. You can join for free, get access to all that information throughout the season. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.